Hey everyone, Sam Wenzel here doing a video on tarp camping in winter. I'm here in Nova Scotia and we are actually getting some rain here tonight. It is the weekend of February 24th, 25th, and we still have quite a bit of snow. I'll show you. Left over from last week's 2 snowstorms. But this weekend we're forecasted for some rain. Now, I managed to put this up in a little bit of a hurry, however I am going to make some adjustments. It is my Cabela's Outfitter Series tarp. I put it up in a A-frame style. And I'm digging a little bit of a ditch. Now I'm going to widen that ditch so as it rains, hopefully it's not going to fill up with water as it's mixing with the snow and melting. So for that, and I've still got quite a bit of that to do, but for that I'm using my SOG Knives tactical entrenching tool. I picked this up in Mountain Equipment Co-op in Halifax a couple weekends ago, and so far the only thing I've been able to try it on is snow. Of course, I'll have to wait till we have no snow and just have bare ground to try that out. I don't want to dig down into frozen ground, although after this weekend it may not be as frozen. I've got my tarp, I've got my poncho, I've got winter sleeping gear, and I just stopped to make this quick video, and I'll turn the camera back on and do some more filming after I've done a bit more work. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, it's now later in the evening. As you can see, I've got a nice fire going. Don't know what all you can see here. Actually, just move the headlamp. So I've got my bedroll here. I decided against rolling it out just yet because it's pretty damp out. I'm going to hold this up. I don't know what you'll be able to see. But with the campfire, it doesn't do it justice, but with just the headlamp on, all I can see is, especially in open spaces, is just a mist, a fog, and you really can't see that far ahead of you with the light on. So it's actually very damp out, so damp that I actually couldn't use birch bark to light the fire. I actually ended up using a pre-made fire starter that I carry with me sometimes. So yeah, birch bark is so damp that even holding a Bic lighter to it, it's not really taking. It'll burn a little bit on the edges, but I started this fire with a paraffin wax. So I've got a little fire maker, fire lighting device I like to make. Tin can, paraffin wax, and a homemade wick. That usually does the job in certain situations. I do like to challenge myself, but tonight I felt like this was already enough of a challenge where I'm staying out in this. Yeah. Moisture on the tarp, lots of it. So my biggest challenge tonight is going to be staying dry. I've got the bedroll, but I'm not going to roll it out till I'm just about to get in it. And yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. I made it through the night. All my stuff is nice and dry. I'm dry and warm. I didn't get any chilled or anything like that. The condensation I was worried about last night from the top of my tarp didn't seem to bother me that much. All in all, a pretty good night. Lots of rest, except I was woken up probably around. Actually, I checked my watch around 3:30. I started hearing some noises. Started off with some twig snapping and just movement in general over there. So in the direction where my head was. Then I heard an owl not too far away, and then stayed awake for a little bit, listening, just trying to figure out what it is. I like to do that sometimes. And then I heard a coyote pack, or a group of coyotes. Anyway, I don't know if it was a full-fledged pack this time of year, but they were pretty loud, but also I think kind of an illusion. They were pretty far away, at least. I went looking this morning for a bit of tracks, couldn't find any, and this nice soft snow because of the rain. No tracks from coyotes. So, yeah, other than that, I went to sleep, fell back asleep shortly after that. And once I had the mystery solved. So I'll show you guys my sleeping setup. I didn't have it set up when I was filming in the rain yesterday. And it's a little bit of a mess. But, so what I have here is I have a summer weight sleeping bag. And inside I have a down-filled sleeping bag. And I have the green tarp is my ground sheet. It's a vinyl ground sheet. And the blue tarp that you see there is just a regular woven blue tarp that I picked up at Canadian Tire just for the purpose of using for things like this. And yesterday I brought it with, just because I knew it was going to be damp and I wanted an extra layer of tarp. And this blue piece here, this is actually a poncho. And I was wearing it yesterday, and I decided to throw it over my sleeping bag just to make sure that if there were driving rain, which there wasn't, didn't rain at all last night, I'd have just an extra layer. And the pillowcase that you see up there is actually not a pillowcase. It's actually a market wallet. And I'll do some videos on that later, but basically that's an older style of carrying equipment with you. A little bit of firewood to start, but I used quite a bit of it last night. Not really planning on doing too much fire lighting today because I have some other plans, but I will use that. So all in all, I think this was a success.